The film begins with a woman named Anna who has a son named Jen who wakes her up so he can go to his swimming practice. Then he asks her to take the day off from work because he has a scuba diving test. He has trained for 2 whole days, especially for this test. When Anna wakes up, she hears a strange noise outside the house. And when she opens the window, she discovers that it's raining very heavily. Then she starts preparing breakfast for her son. And at the same time, she calls her mother to check on her, as she does every day. So her mother tells her that the area where she lives has also experienced heavy rain. Anna concludes that it must be a powerful storm that could last and tells her mother that she won't be going to work today. And after finishing the call, Anna continues preparing breakfast, but she is surprised to see that the floor is starting to fill with water in an unusual way. And when she looks out the window in front of her, she sees high waves flooding the entire area, and worry appears on her face. And at the same moment, she receives a warning through the alarm system from the management of the building where she lives, confirming that a major flood is underway and that the water has reached the 3rd floor. The message asks residents to move to the upper floors to save themselves, while also specifying that the water has caused a power outage, and as a result, all elevators are out of service, leaving only the stairs for people to go up. Anna moves quickly and gathers whatever belongings and clothes she can for herself and her son in order to escape. And suddenly, Anna receives a call from a police officer named Joe, who informs her that he is assigned to protect and rescue her. He asks her to leave her personal belongings behind and focus solely on going up to the higher floors with her son until he can reach her. And it then becomes clear that Anna is a doctor specializing in artificial intelligence and natural disaster forecasting. And that's why she was surprised by what had just happened, because a disaster of such magnitude should have been predicted before it occurred. And despite this, Anna doesn't dwell on the details. She takes her son's medicine, puts it in a small bag, then carries her son on her back and heads out. But she is shocked when she sees water surrounding the area and people coming out of their homes, panicked and rushing upstairs, causing a heavy crush in the stairwell. And the residents discover that something is blocking the passage at the top, so they end up stuck in the stairwell, unable to keep climbing. Then, Anna decides to quickly head toward the emergency staircase located at the end of the building. Anna starts climbing, trying to calm her son so that the frightening scene doesn't scare him, because he sees people swimming in the water and trying to survive. So, Anna keeps trying to calm him by singing to distract him. But she is surprised to find that the emergency staircase is blocked because the neighbors have placed many objects there that obstruct the way. So, Anna tries to climb over the ledge, but her feet slip and she almost falls, which forces her to go back to the main staircase. And she sees, in the building across the street, Joe, who was looking for her. So, she calls out to him and waves to show him where she is, but at that moment, she discovers that her son has suddenly disappeared. Then, she sees him enter the neighbor's apartment. She rushes after him quickly, but is shocked by the arrival of a huge wave heading toward them. The window shatters and water floods the entire place all at once. And then, Anna recalls an old memory where she was in a car with her husband and he was drowning. But she quickly snaps out of her memories and dives underwater to look for her son. And unfortunately, she loses the bag of medicine. Anna comes up to the surface to catch her breath, then dives back underwater and keeps searching among the drowned bodies until she finally finds her son, who was unconscious. And she tries to wake him up, but in vain. Then, she tries to open the apartment door to get out and finds it locked. And she can't open it. And she is about to lose consciousness herself. But Joe appears at the last moment, opens the door and saves her and her son. Then, they get out from under the water and Joe manages to perform CPR on her son, Jin, who regains consciousness. Then, Anna hugs her son tightly and continues to comfort him, while Joe writes a report in which he mentions that he has saved Dr. Anna and her son Jin, and that he is on his way to get them out of the building. He then informs Anna that they need to go up to the roof of the building because a helicopter will arrive in a few moments to rescue them. And as they head toward the stairs, Jin begins to remember an old incident that happened years ago, when the car fell into the water and his father died. Anna interrupts her son and keeps singing to prevent him from continuing to recount the painful memories of the past. And Anna notices that the water is salty, even though it should be fresh rainwater. Joe explains to her that a small celestial body struck the Antarctic continent, causing the ice to melt and mix with the seawater. And he also tells her that Japan has been completely submerged, which means that the 30-story building will sink soon. So, Anna is surprised and wonders how the experts failed to predict this disaster. Joe replies that they were aware of it, but they weren't able to prepare for it properly. Then, he shocks her by saying that the entire world will collapse that day. Humanity will become extinct, and that Anna's mission is now to create a new humanity. And Joe reminds her that she is one of only 2 people to have developed the human emotion system through artificial intelligence, and he informs her that his director, named Yun, has disappeared and that they have searched for her for a long time. And when they couldn't find her, they considered her dead, and so Anna became their only hope. Joe explains to Anna that the laboratory has created bodies similar to humans, endowed with intelligence and reproductive abilities, and that all that remains is to implant the human emotion system in them, so now everything depends on Anna. And when she arrives at the company, she will learn the rest of the details. And at that moment, Jin asks Anna for permission to go to the bathroom. Then, they return and enter an apartment and take her to the bathroom, while Joe informs Command that they are on the 15th floor. But his conversation suggests that he is hiding something from Anna and does not want to reveal it, since she is cooperating with him willingly. And after Joe finishes his call, Anna takes the device he has and calls her mother to check on her. Her mother tells her that she managed to get to the highest floor of her building, but she sees no hope of survival in the midst of this disaster, and she asks Anna not to worry about her and to focus on saving herself and her son. Then Anna tearfully says goodbye to her and ends the call. Jin leaves the bathroom, but the gas pipes explode due to the water pressure. So Joe takes them and tries to find a way to escape before the flames break out in the place, and he finds no other option but to flee via the balconies. And during this, Anna loses her balance and falls into the water, but she quickly resurfaces and clings to a plastic board to avoid drowning, reassuring her son by telling him that she's fine and will join him soon. Then, Anna swims back to the building and finds herself on the 10th floor, where she hears the voice of a neighbor who was trapped inside the elevator. Anna tries to open the door to save her, but a gigantic wave hits the place and Anna drowns, and her mind returns to the day when the car sank as she was trying to open the door and reassure her husband and son. Her husband assures her that he is fine and unbuckles the child's seatbelt, then begins to get Anna and the child out. But he remains stuck inside the car and can't move. And Anna has no choice but to leave her husband and save her son, getting out before the child drowns and dies. Anna wakes up from her memories and surfaces from underwater to discover that she has drifted away from the elevator and reached the 18th floor. She collapses because she couldn't save her neighbor, while Joe arrives and orders her to come up quickly as their son Jan is exhausted. Anna runs to him and notices that he has had a diabetic attack. Joe asks her for his medication. Anna tells him that the bag was lost and rushes to the first apartment in front of her, and apologizes to an old man who lives there. She sets her son down on the floor, then quickly opens the refrigerator, takes out some juice, adds a quantity of sugar to it, and starts making her son drink it so that his condition will improve. And then, Anna remembers a situation with Principal Hyon, when Anna wanted to give up her son after her husband's death, because she didn't see herself as a responsible mother. But Hyon had asked her not to rush and told her that the laboratory would take her son back from her and would also take back her daughter, named Yujin. And so it becomes clear that Anna and Yun created their children themselves, because both children, Jane and Yujin, were the first experiment of the human emotion system invented by Anna and Yun, who later regretted not foreseeing how attached they would become to their children. Anna wakes up to the sound of Jin, who is regaining consciousness, but he tells her that he couldn't control himself and that he wet himself. Anna goes to clean him up and change his clothes, and she appears optimistic when she sees that the sun has come out and the storm is over. But Joe warns her that it's only a truce and that the storm could return at any moment. Then he finally reveals what he was hiding and tells her that the laboratory will take her son as soon as they arrive. And he adds that he is one of the children whose mothers abandoned them, and that this made him hate nature, or rather, human nature, because he wanted to see her reaction when she learned that her son would be taken from her. Anna is affected, but she suppresses her emotions and remains silent. Then the storm suddenly returns, so they hurry. They carry Jane and leave the apartment, and as they go up the stairs, Anna sees a man sitting on the ground in front of his pregnant wife, who seems about to give birth. The man asks Anna for help, but Joe insists that they don't have time to help others because they have to leave. Anna apologizes to the old man and his pregnant wife, leaves them and goes upstairs, while Jane asks her why that woman is suffering. Anna explains to her that she is about to give birth to a child. Jane asks her if she suffered like that when she gave birth to her. Anna is moved and remains silent. Then she takes her son down from her back and cries. Joe comes up to her and tells her that there's only one floor left to reach the roof. But Anna breaks down and admits that she can't abandon her son. Joe tells her that he will help her so that her son can stay with her. Then they go up to the top floor where they find a laboratory team led by a man named Kim, who takes over from Joe and informs Anna that he will take her son, whom they call the new human number 77, while Anna will continue her work on developing the human emotion system. Anna collapses when the soldiers take her son and tries to stop them, but she fails. Then she runs after Joe and demands that he keep his promise. Joe shocks her and arrogantly tells her that he deceived her, confirming that Hyun is not dead, but that she took her daughter and ran away. He says this proves Hyun's attachment to her child, unlike Anna, who agreed to come with him even though she knew her son could be taken from her. Then he leaves her and walks away. Hana sees the soldiers inject her child with a sedative and begin shaving his head in preparation for opening his skull. She rushes to Kim and begs him to spare her son. But he refuses and tells her that the model Hana created has succeeded, referring to her son Jen, whom the laboratory will use to create other similar models. And he reminds her that these are the very same words she herself spoke when she first created her son. And at that very moment, Hana hears gunshots behind her. And when she turns around, she sees the soldiers killing Joe, and she is told that everyone in this place will die, but she is the only one allowed to leave. Hana returns to her son, kisses him, and says a broken goodbye, then heads toward the helicopter in a state of shock. And as she boards, 2 soldiers arrive with her son Jen's brain after having removed it from his body. And then we see Hana in another scene with the laboratory team inside a spaceship orbiting the planet Earth, and a person named Sue communicates with her, introducing himself as the mission leader and informing her that thousands of meteorite fragments will fall to Earth in 15 minutes and that most forms of life on Earth will disappear because of this. Sue explains to Hana that the laboratory has launched 7 spaceships from different locations around the world, and that those on board are the last survivors of the human species. They are heading to a laboratory called the Isabella Laboratory, where it is possible to manufacture human bodies, and that Hana is the only doctor capable of implanting human emotions into these bodies. Then he adds that this time they will not only create children, but they will also create the mother and her child in order to ensure a faster reproduction of the human species, and that they must develop the new humanity so that it can survive after the time of the Great Flood. But Hana opposes the idea and tells Sue that the human species must understand the instinct for survival, and that this will only be achieved by implanting the maternal instinct in the new humans. And since the creation of the child is complete, she will make the mother the subject of the experiment, hide the child from her, and confront her with many obstacles while she searches for it. If the mother fails to find her child, the experiment goes back to square one and Hana starts a new attempt. If the mother finds the child, the experiment is a success. But Sue warns her that if the mother fails to recover the child, it means the extinction of humanity. And before Anna can answer him, a ship breaks apart in front of them and the debris from its hull heads toward their ship and pierces through it. The events then shift back to the time before the Great Flood. In this new timeline, Anna wakes up to the sound of her son Jin, who tells her that the apartment has turned into a swimming pool, and the number 491 appears on Anna's shirt. She gets up, surprised by what is happening. Then she receives a call from Joe, who confirms to her that he is responsible for her protection and rescue. And during the call, Jin tries to show her the drawing he made. But Anna gets angry with him because she can't follow the call, while Joe is asking her to go up to the roof of the building and wait for his arrival, and he confirms that she must take her son with her. Then Anna remembers Hun's words, that the laboratory wants to take her son from her. So Anna hangs up and goes to get Jen's medicine and puts it in a small bag. Then she looks for him and finds him hiding in the closet because he's angry with her. Anna tells him that this is not the time to be angry and warns him of the need to stay by her side and follow her instructions at all times. Then Anna carries her son on her back and leaves the apartment. She sees Joe in the building across the street calling out to her, but she runs to hide from him. The storm intensifies and a huge wave arrives, flooding the entire area. Anna swims with her son until they reach the surface of the water and helps her son return to the building. But she is surprised to find that he has left her and gone away. She tries to catch up to him, but another wave hits the area and she sees him in the water, about to drown. So she quickly jumps in to save him, but the bag of medicine is lost. And when Anna looks up, she can't find her son Jin in front of her. And Anna remembers scenes where she was on board the helicopter, holding her son's swimming goggles in her hand. She puts her hand in her pocket and is surprised to find the goggles still with her. Then she loses consciousness while her son Joe appears, trying to wake her up. But what draws attention is that the number on her shirt changes to become 797. And when Anna wakes up, she tries to leave Joe to look for her son. But he stops her and shows her a picture on his phone where Jin appears walking among people, trying to go up the stairs to the roof, while Joe tries to reassure Anna and tells her that his security team will look for Jen until they find him, but she ignores his words and insists on searching for him herself. Joe grabs Anna to take her up to the roof with him, so Anna snatches his gun and points it at him, demanding to know where her son is. And before Joe can answer, the gas pipes explode and Anna nearly falls into the water. But Joe holds her back, and the number on the shirt changes to 1931. And Joe assures her that he doesn't know where her son is. But Anna doesn't believe his words, leaves him, and jumps into the water. Then Anna goes back into the building and finds herself once again on the 10th floor. She heads toward the elevator and knocks on the door to ask if anyone is inside. A little girl named Jay answers her and asks how she knew she was stuck in there. But Anna is surprised because she doesn't know how she understood it. But she ignores the question and dives underwater, trying to open the door. But she has a cardiac arrest and dies. Then we see Anna come back to life. She knocks on the door again and tells the little girl that she's going to get something to open the door. Then she comes back. And it appears that the number on the shirt has changed to 4007. Anna brings a plank and manages to open the elevator door and save G. Then she takes her to a nearby apartment to change her wet clothes, reassures her, and tells her that her grandfather is fine and that he's in his apartment. G is surprised and asks her how she knows that. Anna is even more confused and says she doesn't know how she knew. And what's even stranger is that Anna tells Jie that she's going to die soon and asks her to describe what her son Jin looks like, because if she sees him, she'll tell him that his mother was looking for him. Jie explains to her that she heard two young men talking with a child, asking him where his mother was and if he knew the code to the apartment door. And she also told her that the two young men went up to the upper floor. Anna thanks her and goes upstairs to look for her son. Then Anna sees the two young men coming out of an apartment after robbing it. And when he sees her, he tries to get rid of her, but the apartment door opens and Joe appears. With Jai, Joe then throws himself at them. Without hesitation, he throws one of them into the water and grabs the other, torturing him to find out Jin's whereabouts. He replies that the child left them and went away. So Joe throws him into the water as well. Joe comes back to tell Anna that no one kidnapped her son because he went to hide somewhere, and he asks her if she knows any places where her son might be hiding. Anna tells him she doesn't know anything. Joe is surprised by her and leaves her alone. Then Anna sees in the next room a scene from the past, when she was giving her son juice to save him from a diabetic crisis. Then Anna goes back to the little girl Jie and tries to convince her to leave with her and abandon her grandfather and grandmother. But Ji refuses and tells her that she will stay with them and won't leave them. The grandmother hands Anna a bottle of juice and tells her that she was born for her son. Jin Anna is surprised and asks how she knew her son was diabetic. But she takes the bottle and leaves. Then Anna meets Joe, who tells her that the security team has arrived in the building and that they will look for her son. Anna remembers the soldiers when they injected her son before. And she claims that she absolutely has to find Jan herself to make him drink the juice before a diabetic crisis occurs. Joe catches up with Anna and tells her he doesn't believe her excuses, confirms that his son left her of his own free will, and asks what could make a child do such a thing. Anna breaks down and tells him that this is precisely why she is determined to find him, and she admits that she has failed to find him on previous occasions. And at this point, it becomes clear that what is happening is the experience Anna previously described to the mission leader on the spaceship, when she said she would have the child searched for by the sea and would place many obstacles in his path, and that the changing number on her shirt is the number of the attempt Anna is making to find her son Gene. Then Anna begs Joe to help her look for her son and tells him that she has searched most of the apartments and that only a few are left. And she suggests that he search the odd-numbered apartments while she searches the even-numbered ones. Joe agrees to this, surprised and not understanding why he obeyed her. Then Anna continues searching for her son, while the number on the shirt changes to display the number 778213, and Anna had reached the 28th floor. Anna hears the voice of the pregnant woman she had seen earlier, but this time she has already given birth to her child. Anna approaches her and helps her, and she is moved when she sees her happily holding her child. And she is even more touched when the woman's husband arrives running, carrying water to help her, and rejoices upon learning that his wife has given birth. Then the wife tells him that she had previously dreamed about the storm that would happen on the day she gave birth. Anna remembers that Gene had said he had a certain dream, and that he had drawn what he saw and wanted to show her the drawing, but she was busy with a call and had refused to look at it. And she also remembers that he had told her he sent the drawing to her phone so she could see it later. So Anna takes her phone and searches through her photos until she finds the drawing made by her son, and she is shocked because he drew her face with a helicopter behind her, which was the same scene where she had said goodbye to him before leaving him and getting into the helicopter. And her shock grows when she sees that he sent her many copies of the drawing. Anna remembers the moment when her son Jen hid in the closet of their apartment and told her that she had been lying to him for some time. Anna quickly runs to the apartment and opens the closet, hoping to find Gene there, but the security soldiers attack her and drug her. And when Anna regains consciousness, she is under the effect of the sedative and Joe is in front of her. He tells her that they will fully wake her up as soon as they find her son, and that he now has to take her to the roof of the building to carry out her mission. But Anna warns Joe that they're deceiving him, because once they reach the roof, they'll get rid of him. Joe then remembers the moment when he was actually shot, but he wants to understand the truth. So he decides to attack the soldiers and get rid of them, then faces them alone. And when one last soldier grabs him and nearly kills him, Anna helps and shoots the soldier, taking him out. Then Joe injects her with a substance that fully restores her consciousness. Anna sits down with Joe and tells him everything, explaining that after she left Jin the first time, he started to disappear with every subsequent attempt, and that the conversation between them has repeated thousands of times before. Joe then remembers scenes from the attempts where he was fighting alongside Anna against the security team. Anna goes on to tell Joe that Jin knew everything from the very beginning, and that he disappeared because he didn't want her to abandon him again. And she also explains to him that when Jin is angry or scared, he goes to hide in the closet, and that every time Anna tried to reach him, the security team stopped her, just like they did the first time when they took him from her. She adds that even if she managed to find her son Jin, he might not want to see her because he believes she abandoned him when she handed him over to the laboratory soldiers. But Joe challenges her words and tells her that it's not true, and that the fact that he disappeared thousands of times doesn't mean he hates his mother, but rather that he's waiting for her to find him. He encourages her to keep searching for him until she reaches him. Then we see Anna after that, in attempt number 21,499 to find her son, as she confronts the security team soldiers underwater and gets rid of them. Then she quickly climbs to the roof of the building and finds a locked closet. Joe opens the closet and finds his son Jin unconscious inside. She quickly makes him drink the juice, but is surprised to find that he does not regain consciousness. So she sits next to him, cries, and apologizes, because he thought she had abandoned him. But Jin regains consciousness and tells her that she didn't abandon him, reminding her that she was the one who had originally asked him to wait inside the closet. And at that moment, Anna remembers the first time she said goodbye to Jin, when she had approached him and pointed out the existence of a closet on the roof behind her, asking him to hide there and wait for her to come back. And at that very moment, it becomes clear that everything that happened was a ruse by Anna against the entire laboratory, so that she could stay with Jin as long as possible during the experiment, and so she could eliminate the members of the laboratory one by one, as well as to explain the reason for Anna herself entering the experiment. Then, the film goes back in time to the moment when debris from another spaceship penetrated Anna's ship, where Anna was injured by a shard in her abdomen, and asked the mission leader to let her play the role of the mother searching for her child, because in this way she would implant the maternal instinct in the new humanity through the experiment. The mission team placed Anna on the devices and extracted her memory data, then merged it with the memory data of her son, Jen, which they had previously taken from his brain. And during her attempts in the experiment, Anna forgot her agreement with Jen, who reminded her of what had happened. And finally, the laboratory soldiers arrived at their location. So Anna takes the swimming goggles out of her pocket and gives them to her son, asking him to put them on. Then she orders him to jump into the water. And at the same moment, Anna attacks the laboratory soldiers and prevents them from taking her son, repeating her request that he quickly jump into the water and assuring him that she will jump after him. Jin does as his mother asked and jumps into the water. And at the same moment, the laboratory server breaks down and the entire experiment comes to a halt. Anna manages to defeat the laboratory's program and free herself from the experiment. Then she jumps into the water and keeps swimming until she reaches her son, while high waves approach them. Then, Anna remembers the diving training that Jin did for the test and asks him to dive together underwater, just as the raging wave arrives and crashes over them. So, they dive underneath, and the lives of Anna and her son come to an end. And with them, the life of the entire human species also comes to an end.